So I was looking forward to working on the Buick a bit tonight and also doing a video on what I'm doing to remedy the sending unit issue that I'll go over later with the Buick. But instead, I'm working on the 2011 Traverse, the family vehicle that hauls the family around. Because it needs brakes. So I love working on the new cars in lieu of working on the old cars. It's just wonderful. But I picked up my brakes. They smell like fish, and they're also in a different box. And the lovely person behind the counter said, well, you know, hey, they've been sitting around for a little while. Where were they sitting? That's what I want to know. And why do they smell like fish? And it took a while for them to bring them up to the counter, so where did they pull them from? But anyway, they're semi-metallic, so I hope the fish smell means performance or something. So this is the 2011 Chevy Traverse brakes that I mentioned earlier that I'm working on. So far so good. It's the easiest, I shouldn't say the easiest, it's as simple as it gets as far as disc brakes. Everything is bolted into place with a hex head bolt, which is great. The only Torx bit is this guy right here. I mean, of course everything's metric because everything nowadays is metric, but very straightforward, very simple. I'm very pleased so far with how it's going. I'm going to continue here. Keep my fingers crossed. As I mentioned, the only real special tool you'll need, which isn't really that special anymore, is a small Torx bit. And this one here is a T30 Torx bit. You can pick these up anywhere. Actually, these are cheap Kodiak tool Torx bits that I picked up a set at Home Depot. I have used these things for years and they've done a real good job. This is what's actually holding the rotor onto the hub. So it just pulls it in tight to the hub. Some will use like a star washer that slips over when this one is using the Torx bit bolt. So I'm going to remove this and I can slide that rotor right off. Now here's how it looks with the rotor off. I have taken the rotor off here. It did take a little bit of effort. I had to tap on the back of it with a hammer. I tried the rubber mallet first and it did not work. So I had to get a little more aggressive and tap on the back, and then it released it off of the hub. Not a big deal. I always use mechanics wire here to hold up my caliper. That way you always have slack in your hose. You never want to let the caliper hang by the hose, and there's really no area here for it to hang. So use mechanics wire, let it hang, works perfect. Now we will move on to installing the new parts. Before installing the new components, here is my new rotor, here is my old rotor. I always compare them side by side, take any measurements where applicable to make sure that the parts are the parts they're supposed to be. The same for the brake pad. Here I have the old pads, here I have the new fish pads. They smell like fish. It's unfreaking believable how bad these smell. But hopefully they work good. So I'll be doing an installation now in the reverse order that I removed all the components. This is how it looks all back together. I neglected to explain how you push the piston back into the caliper, and you do that with a simple C-clamp, and you also use one of the old brake pads. So the brake pad goes here, and then you put your C-clamp through here, touch it against this pad, and then you have the back side of the C-clamp on the back side of the caliper here, so that the part that you're rotating in is actually touching the brake pad. And you can see right here is the witness mark where that took place. But that's all it is. Don't be intimidated by it. This is the first time I took a look at the 2011 Traverse brakes, and you can see the Chevelle back there. But this was really simple, and now it's done. Brake work is done. It was awesome. My daughter came out. She's only 6, and my wife, and they gave me a hand, which is always good when the family gets involved. A lot of fun. We're all into cars in the family. But anyway, everything went good. So don't be intimidated to do a job like this yourself. I saved myself anywhere between like $500 and $550 doing this work myself instead of taking it to the dealer to get it done. So get out there, work on your own cars. This is not rocket science, but man, just the feeling you get from getting the job done and doing it right is wonderful. And the money that you spend. Think of all the other things you could be spending money on besides taking your car to the dealership to get worked on. But yeah, if you're a little bit mechanically inclined, and I mean a little bit, that's all it takes to do brake work. Brake work is among the most simplest things you can be doing to your car yourself. That and oil changes. So it looks like I'll be using this to go to work tomorrow, just to make sure everything's working out good before I turn it back over to my wife to use. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day.